Hello, this is Pavel, and this is today's brief. I build technology for service company. On this channel, I look at what technology changes for business. Not the tools themselves, but what happened after the tool arrived. Here's a pain I keep seeing. A company brings an AI or any other modern technology, and the tools actually work. That proposal took a day, now takes an hour. The report built itself. Everyone agrees that tasks are faster. Then the quarter ends and nothing moves. Margins are the same. Every calendar is still full. Somehow there is a new committee, and nobody can point at what all save time actually bought. And here's my take on this. The technology did the job. The organization spent the winning. Technology itself doesn't solve the organizational problem. But the solution exists, and it's been working for 30 years. Software companies already figured out on how to turn fast work into business results. So for today, let's look at the 5 places where the hours disappear and 5 habits worth taking on or stealing. No new tool required. Let's start with the most common one. A task that took a week now takes a day, and nobody's weeks get shorter. There is an old law behind this, Parkinson's law. Written back in 1955, work expands to fill the time available. And there's a simple reason nobody hands the time back. If you finish early and say so, your next deadline gets shorter. So nobody says so. The free time quietly turns into next polish, double check-in, and one more meeting. Now watch how software teams handle the same thing. Every week or two, they plan out loud. Here's how much time we have. Here's the work size against it. And when something finished early, nobody hides it. The next piece of work starts the same day, and everyone can see it move. Time is treated like money. It has an owner, and people are measured on what's got done, not how to look busy. Compare that to your own company. You have a controller for every dollar. If department saves $1 million, that million doesn't wander in the hallways. Someone catches it, someone assigns it. The million saved does not exist unless controller sees the dollar. When it comes to saved hours, nobody catches them. That's the whole gap. So here's the move. Pick one team, count the hours AI actually frees up in a week, and when work finished early, start the next piece. Visibly the same day. Don't let the calendar quietly eat the win. Second one. AI made reports cheap to make. So now you have more reports than ever. There's an old law here too. From 1865, an economist named Jevons noticed that when the steam engines got more efficient, England burned more coal, no less. Make something cheaper to use and people use much more of it. When the report took a full day, you asked for one. Now it takes 20 minutes, and there is a version by region, a version for the board, and a weekly refresh, and somebody senior has to read all of it. Software companies hit this wall years ago, and their answer is worth stealing in a well-run technology company. Nobody spends Monday morning writing a status report about the system. The system shows its own status. The screen is always on. Anyone who needs the number looks at the number. And when the screen stops being looked at, they delete it. Nobody is offended. Here's the translation. Most reports and a service business exist for one reason. Putting the numbers together was the only way to see them. If AI can assemble the report in 20 minutes, ask a better question. Why isn't that number just visible? So the move is find the document your company produces most often. Either turn it to the live screen people can check anytime, or stop producing it and see who will notice. Sometimes the right amount of report is 0. Next, third one, and this is the part nobody says out loud. When the work gets cheap, the middle of the company feels the ground move. The people whose whole day was coordinating, checking, and reporting, and the structure defends itself by the way structures do. A new review step here, an approval here, a dashboard about AI usage, and a weekly meeting about the tool that were supposed to kill meetings. Parkinson saw this one too. Administration grows on its own, whether the work grows or not. I'm not calling anyone a villain. It's not people. It's structure doing what structure does. Now, here's how good technology company keep this honest. And I've spent years building those controls myself. Every check has to answer one question. What exactly breaks if we remove it? A check that stops a release stops a specific disaster. A review looks at the work, not at who shows up. And when something breaks away, they fix the process that let it break. They don't create a permanent meeting as a monument to the accident. A control is a check with a purpose, not a ceremony with a calendar invite. So the move is, list every checkpoint that appeared in your company since AI arrived. Ask each one, what specific failure do we prevent? A wrong payment, a broken promise to a customer, a data leak? Real answer, keep it, fund it. And the answer is visibility or alignment. That's Parkinson's law wearing a governance badge. The fourth one, decisions are now slow than before AI, because everything needs a sign-off. Eric Rice, the leading startup author, has been making a point I keep coming back to. When big company collapse, it's usually not the product that failed. It is the way decisions were set up. Here's how I say it. Good governance exists so decisions can be made fast, safely, by the right person. Bureaucracy exists so nobody can be blamed for one. Those are opposites. One gives you speed with accountability, the other gives you cover with delay. And here's one habit to steal. In a technology company, permissions is written down once with its coordination. This person can release the work when the checks pass. This person can spend up this amount without asking. Nobody calls the meeting to approve routine work, because routine work was the pre-approved the day the rule was written. And when something unusual comes up, everyone knows exactly who to go. And you don't wander the hallway looking for someone senior enough to decide. A service company that's becoming a technology company needs more of this, no less. Real permissions, AI read record of who did what, a clearer path to the unusual case. The saved hours could pay for exactly that. In most companies, they are paying for the defensive kind instead. The move is, take the newest rule, try to rewrite as a permission. This person may do this without asking when these conditions are true. If you can write it in this way, it's not governance, it is a queue. And the last one, and this is the destination. Say you stop the leak. The hours are counted, the reports become screens, the checkpoints are honest, the permissions are clear. You are now holding something rare. The first new capacity your company has been handed in years. Leave it unassigned and it's get absorbed. Parkinson guarantees it, so assign it. How technology companies assign capacity. They turn it into a promise and they measure the promise. We answer within an hour. We are available around the clock, breathing down, tracked staff, not a help, a commitment. A service company can do exactly the same within an hour. AI hands back. Spend them where the customer can feel it, and it turns into the promise. Every customer hears from us before they have to ask. That's a commitment, and we track it. Every job gets a follow-up within a week, commitment tracked, because the customer's bar only goes up. The response time you were proud of last year is just expected this year. The saved hours is how you raise your floor before the bar goes there. That's the whole difference between the company that's automated and got nothing, and with the company that automated and pulls ahead. Same tools, same saving. One let the organization absorb the hours. The other turns them into the promises and customer would pay for. And the move is one team, 1 quarter. Count the saved hours honestly. Put one of them into one promise the customer can feel and review it when you review budget. Now let's step back and look at the 5 habits together. Time treated like money. Numbers visible instead of reported. Check the name that they will prevent. Permission written down instead of asked for. And saving turned into the promises to the customer. None of that is AI checklist. That's how technology companies have to run for 30 years. And that's what becoming a technology company actually means. Not buying the tools, running the company the way they learn to run they. Technology by itself does not solve the organizational problem, but the solution is sitting right there, proving and learning. The hours are already on the table. The only question is who claims them. The tool is never the point. What changes is, and I'll see you next time.